Good day, everybody. My name is Matthew Dib on the Night Watch here at the Fleetweather Ocean Routing Center in New York. Today is the 10th of November. Current time is about 0100 GMT. We're going to get a quick overview of the North Atlantic, what's currently ongoing, what are we expecting over the short and midterm, and even get a long-range outlook on some of the potential for some significant features across the basin in the longer range. Looking at the current satellite picture from Ventasky, we do notice two features that do stand out. We have this complex gale over the British Isles, and then we do have another developing gale just east of Newfoundland in the southern Labrador Sea, northwestern Atlantic. Looking at the latest surface analysis, we do see that complex gale over the British Isles. It's actually the last in a series of strong systems that have moved across the northeastern Atlantic and have brought a series of surges of very high seas across the northeastern Atlantic, from Western Ireland to the Bay of Biscay, even northern Portugal, where we've had rounds of significant wave heights in excess of 10 to 12 meters. This looks to be kind of the last in a series of that, with conditions easing over the next 24 hours, as in its wake, we do have this narrow ridge of high pressure as it moves off towards the north and east. That will bring a respite to the ongoing high seas that have been ongoing. And our attention will turn to this next gale, which is developing into a storm just east of Newfoundland at this time. That will be moving off to the north and east. We'll take a look at how that's shaping up over the next short to medium term and how things are looking across the basin with that. Looking at our in-house product, which is based off the GFS as well as the WaveWatch 3 model, we notice the complex gale of the British Isles and the ongoing surge of northwesterly seas of 6 to 8 meters that is currently ongoing. But as we work through the next 24 hours and look at the timestamp of the 11th of November at 0 Zulu, we notice the seas have come down considerably. And we will look at that developing storm that was in the northwestern Atlantic by this time tomorrow. And the next several days, we'll watch the trends in movement with this. The difference with this storm and the last series of storms that have affected the northeastern Atlantic, you could tell that the geographical coverage covers a much larger area than the last few have. Generally, north of 40 north, there's a large swath of 5 to 7, maybe 8 meter seas in pockets, covering much of the central and northeastern Atlantic by Monday. Not as extreme as the last couple of events, but certainly covering a much larger area. This could have some ramifications for ships' routes coming to and from the English Channel. We could be looking at ships having to divert further to the south, coming out of the channel towards the Azores for routes heading towards the U.S. East Coast. Even for eastbound routes, there may be some more conservative routing or some parallel sails that are needed north of the Azores before turning up towards the English Channel. However, with this system being very slow to move, it does kind of open up and broaden over time. That does allow for the possibility for some considerations for vessels heading westbound from the Danish Straits to consider potentially heading north of the British Isles and cutting through the center of the system by early next week, and then heading south through the central North Atlantic. So something to watch for trends with that over the midterm there. And we notice as we work through the middle of next week, as we're looking at the 15th of November, the area of very high seas has definitely shifted north, with that gale continuing to broaden. And we'll notice the high seas in the north central and northeastern Atlantic towards the English Channel do come down, opening up some more direct routing being possible coming out of the English Channel towards the middle of next week. And then our attention will turn to the next system, and we are talking long range, but indications are that the next gale will be developing south of the Grand Banks by the end of next week and heading slowly east-northeastward. Indications at this point the system will gradually weaken and very slowly move across the central North Atlantic. But again, this one looks to be a little bit further to the south. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and follow us on LinkedIn to receive all the latest weather and routing news. Once again, this is Matthew Dib from the Fleetweather Ocean Routing Center. Stay connected and safe.